for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we welcome you to the Sports Reel podcast live here on the PFC Entertainment Network. Along with Eric Mendel and Tim Sheridan, I'm Jason Klaus. We appreciate you tuning in here as we live stream this on a hazy summer Tuesday night. Gentlemen, always glad to see you. How's things over in your neck of the woods?
Besides all that stuff in the air, because those damn fires in Canada, great. Cannot complain. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Just doing my normal, trying to share shit. Give me 1 second. It never starts out right. Jason gets into this so fast, and I try to share to so many pages, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now, but I am here. I am good. Yes, Canada, keep your fucking fires. I know you guys are pissed off that we have the Pope and you don't, but just keep your fucking fires over there. We need to build up some type of like filtration unit between the countries to knock all that shit out, because I'm sick of smelling it. I'm sick of seeing it. And damn, it can't be good for our lungs, to be honest. Like, we're all going to die from cancer in 30 years, and they're going to be like, if you were affected by the Canadian wildfires and you might be, fucking get compensation or some shit. Like, keep the fucking fires over there. What the fuck is this thing? I don't know what I'm doing. My screen's showing some weird shit. Other than that, Jason, I am doing fantastic. Had a good day of work. We had a great weekend. No wedding we went to Saturday. My boss had his yearly party we went to after that.
What?
Yeah.
He didn't invite me. You don't
work at our shop anymore.
I don't give a shit.
And
I'm yelling at him.
Sunday we went and grocery shopping in the morning, took Taste of the Mall to get a bunch of fucking school clothes, and then we went to Sam's Club, so we were able to restock our freezer a little bit, but it was an expensive Sunday. And then Monday, Chase had his final tournament with First Tee. It was kind of a sad day because it's his last year in First Tee. He's decided not to go back to First Tee anymore. We're going to go a different route next year. Obviously, he'll be playing high school golf next year.
He's just too good, man.
Yeah, and then after high school golf is over, I think we're going to get him on the Callaway Meyer youth circuit next summer to play a few tournaments in that next summer to get him some more tournament exposure. And just keep with his normal swing lessons and shit. But other than that, like, it feels good to be back on a Tuesday, even though it is hazy as fuck outside. I mean, it kind of looked cloudy out at some points.
This was just random because you brought up your work party and everything. Do you remember where Rob Stitt? You know where he's going, right?
Yeah, I just talked to him the other day.
He's going to the shop. Yeah, he's down in Chicago.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. He was going down to Chicago.
Yeah, he is.
He is definitely an idiot for that.
Yeah,
in my opinion, he is. I think that is not a good move on his part. But we're talking about sports. We ain't talking about work. So.
Yeah. No,
it just popped in my head. So I wanted to bring it up.
Sports with that. In fact, I saw his wife like a day ago because she dropped off money for fantasy. So
he's still doing fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, because fantasy football is
I'm not doing
around the corner here.
Not doing that this year.
No, you're fucking horrible at it, bro. You are the worst fantasy.
Let's talk about let's see who can bet on sports this year, Tim, and see who wins more.
I don't bet.
Exactly.
I don't gamble.
No balls.
I don't like giving my money away. Even if I win it, I still feel like giving it back. I don't like giving my money away. If I don't have something to show for it,
it's all about the thrill, man. It's all about the thrill.
Fuck all that.
Yeah, Tim, I'm with you, man. when we went out to Vegas, we dipped into one casino while we were there, and I lost within 45 minutes. I'm like, that's it, I'm out. I just can't justify it.
No, it's we work too hard for our money to give it away.
But it's only money. You can always make it more.
Yeah, but I could use that money to buy cool shit.
Or you could
Like
win. You could
golf
use your money to
clubs.
buy more, win more money, and buy more cooler shit.
I guess so. And that might
Exactly.
But the problem is I don't win shit. Anyways, Jason, how have you been, brother?
Not bad. Can't complain. Real quick, but circling back to the wildfire thing, I got to be honest with you, because it hasn't been mentioned in the headlines in the news for months. It seems like, at least not across my radar. I was under the assumption that everything had just kind of died down and there it was more contained and things of this nature. And then over this last week, we started seeing all these air quality warnings and stuff like that. I'm like, well, if this son of a bitch has been burning this entire time, how is there anything left of Canada? You know what I mean?
It's very true.
Where the hell where's it going?
Canada's a big country, brother.
It truly is. But I just felt like, damn, if this thing has been this massive for this amount of time.
Well, you think about it, like last year was the same way. We were hazy all summer last year because of Canadian wildfires.
Was it Canadian too last year?
Yeah. Oh. And the weird thing about it is I don't remember any time of my 41 years on this earth growing up in the state of Michigan that I don't ever remember, fucking smoke from the Canadian wildfires coming over here. Like, this is just something in the last couple of years, and it's like, what the fuck?
Right.
Well, what you had 5 years ago, the fires down Tennessee because people just decided to light fires down there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a good time somehow.
No, you don't be stupid. Reality, the US of A just needs to come out and be like, okay, Canada, we're going to help you out. We're going to get these fires handled because we're just sick of fucking seeing it and smelling it. It's what needs to happen.
Well, what also needs to happen is we need those who are watching us live here to jump on the call and be a part of the conversation. The link is posted in the live chat on Facebook. You hit that link, it's going to put you into a virtual waiting room. We get the notification. I hit a button, boom, you're on the show. If you're a little bit camera shy, I totally understand, but you can still correspond with us on the live chat. To my surprise, just before we came on the air here, because I've had a busy week, make no mistake about it. Tim, Eric, you guys know what's going on. I don't really feel like I need to be throwing all my bullshit out there right now. But you guys know, the last weekend, everything happened in such a flurry. I wasn't able to really keep track on the analytics of last week's show, and right before we came on the air, Tim tells me that there's over 1,000 views on last week's episode, and I just found that to be completely amazing. That just goes to show, man, like we are trending in the right direction with this particular program, and we can only get bigger. So for those of you who are enjoying what we're doing, if you could do us a favor, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. Just a couple moments of your time would do us a lot of good. So please think about that. 1,000 views, man. That's
our second biggest show ever.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Our last one was like 1,700 views, and it was one of our first live show from Lightning Rounds last year.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. We're doing good. We're coming up.
Yep.
It looks like our good buddy Dave is here.
Already.
He jumped in way too fast. I don't even have the goddamn page pulled up, if I can be honest with you.
And he just mentioned the PBA segment.
Jumping the gun, Tim. Jumping the gun.
Well,
you want to do another shot of whiskey this week?
No, not at all.
Okay.
All right. It looks like the third annual PBA LBC National Championship Clash has been slated for September the 26th and 27th at Strobel Arena. Man, this is an impressive looking, graphic that they got. So this must be a big event that's coming up. Last week, it looks like Chris Vaya and Brianna Cote won the Storm mixed doubles. I think I may have mentioned that last week. Not a lot of breaking news here. I already mentioned that a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that's your PBA report this week.
There you go, Dave.
Good to see you, Dave.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, you could probably answer this because you live out in the Port Huron direction. Was the PBA just in Port Huron recently? If you can get back, because I heard somebody say something about the PBA had an event in Port Huron like in the last 2 weeks or something. So let me know in the comments there, Dave.
I have
Or
no
Dave,
idea.
you could hit the link and
Hit the link,
join the
Dave.
show. You could always do that. That would be a fun addition to the
Don't be
program.
scared, Dave. Don't be scared. Calling you out right now.
So they don't get the Green Dragon for the win. They end up getting a bowling shore. I have no idea. Oh, he has no idea if they were there or not. So that's how, Dave, you're the one who wants the PBA report and you don't even follow it enough to know if they were in your damn town or not.
Come on, man.
Dave.
I didn't see anything on the website in terms of them being in Michigan, but I didn't also do a deep dive in on it either as to exactly where these venues are being held at.
You might have to start going a little bit deeper dive on the PBA event. I mean, look how far I go with the golf. It's Tim's 2 minutes of golf every week. That's not actually ever 2 minutes anymore.
Yeah, we need to cut that down to like 1 minute.
And where's our buddy Jim at? He's been blowing up the bag of dicks or whatever it is, Chad, all day long. And I haven't seen him in a few weeks. Jim, where the fuck are you? We got to talk baseball. And I'm kind of holding out on talking baseball for a little bit until Jim jumps on, hoping that he actually fucking jumps on this week.
So if we're holding out for baseball, let's bring up that Hall of Fame game right now. Let's
we can move into
talk
that.
about let's talk about that. Even though all the Lions fans are freaking out about it, saying, "Oh, Lions ain't going to be good this year." It's the Hall of Fame game. They get one more extra preseason game, so they're literally just testing out everything they want to do. They're testing out all the rookies, all the 4 stringers, 3rd stringers. Who's going to make that 52-man roster? Or is it 53?
It's 53.
53. 53-man roster. They know what they're doing.
No, yeah, for sure.
They're not going to be as bad as that game looked.
No. I mean, that game, you had no starters in it realistically at all. A whole backup offensive line. Kyle Allen usually looks better than that.
So does Hendon Hooker. Hendon
Hooker looked like shit, though.
Yeah, but
Like,
he's looked a lot better, though, in other preseasons than this one.
Throw a couple passes to nobody. It's like, who the fuck was he just throwing the ball?
But Isaiah Tesla, though.
Isaiah Tesla looked good.
He looked pretty.
Who's the other receiver? He looked pretty good, too. A few drop passes, but he looked pretty good.
He definitely was playing hard, but I don't know. But honestly, I didn't even watch the game.
Yeah. Tesla looked really, really good in that outing. Who's that fucking that Rocky Sin guy or whatever? He looked fucking good too. Like he was hitting some good tackles out there. There was another
15? 15, is that who you're talking about?
I think so. Yeah, we picked him up for somebody. He's a vet, but
he looked solid.
There was another linebacker. I can't remember his name right now, but he did really fucking good too. But I think Tesla was the big standout there. And I think he definitely has a chance to get quite a bit of playing time this year if he keeps playing at that caliber.
I think he will. And go ahead.
He might even surpass Tim Patrick in that category if he plays on that caliber. So we could be looking at one hell of a, steal in the draft if he keeps playing that way.
100%. We're talking about the Lions and everything, and they just signed a cornerback, DJ Miller, from the Panthers. And, the Panthers are moving locations. Why are we doing that? We've signed how many players from the Panthers? And
that would make 2?
No, they've signed a couple.
Yeah, but I mean, if this guy makes his team, that'd only be the second one that actually made.
But sign them to the practice squad's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's
giving our starters, a better chance in practice so they know what's going on.
That is very true.
Still, it's just another gateway to the NFL. And even if you make the practice squad, that is still a pretty good football career, I would say.
Jason, did you watch any of it?
I did not, Tim. I'll be honest. I know you and I were texting a little bit. I think I was on my way to work or something.
Yeah.
And for some reason I had it in my mind that Fox was broadcasting the thing, and so I don't have Fox on my phone or anything like that, so I just kind of dismissed it. I was actually listening to another one of the podcasts on our network as kind of a preview before the show dropped by request. And so when you started to send me the text messages, I was like, oh shit, I kind of forgot that it was on. But when I got into the plant, they had it on the TV. So like I glanced at it, but by that time it was well into the fourth quarter. The Chargers were way well ahead. I'm like, well, now's not the time to be hitting the panic button, because there's a couple of other guys sitting at the break room table and they're cussing and swearing and oh, see, there it is, blah. And I'm like, would you
chill the fuck out?
It's preseason football. Relax, man.
Right.
Especially when you have maybe only 5 people that played that day that'll actually make the roster.
It's very true.
Yeah. So, like, I glanced at it very late. Nothing that I saw really stood out as, oh man, that's going to be something. I just wasn't that invested in it. It is preseason, and I knew there wasn't going to be our marquee players playing on the field and things of that nature. So no, I didn't really pay much attention. Now here brings up a sidebar question. Does that make me a shit fan?
No.
Does it make people who don't pay attention as closely to preseason, does that make them less than a fan than somebody that watches every single down of the Lions the minute they step onto the field to the last game of the season?
You know, the last time I paid attention to preseason football was 2007. That is when, or no, was it 08? It was 08 when they went 4-0 in the preseason and went 0-16 in the regular. After that, I'm like, preseason does not matter at all.
Right.
And it does not matter. And they got 4 preseason games this year because they had the Hall of Fame game. So they get one more than everyone else. So literally Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes were just seeing who's going to make the roster. They have so many players. They got to figure out what they're doing. Don't make you a shit fan. I didn't watch a single down of it, but I'm still a diehard Lions fan. I can name players that I bet you 90% of the people in Michigan cannot name.
Facts. Straight up.
Yeah.
Facts.
I watched every down, but it was a grueling watch. Chase started out with me and he made it about halftime and he's like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I'm going back to video games.
Yeah.
Like he's like, they're not playing anybody? And I'm like, no. I'm like, but we get our first look at Tesla and a couple other pieces on the team that could make the team. And that's more what I was watching for, to see how some of these guys think. And I really wanted to get my eye on Hendon Hooker to see how he performed. And I know Eric said he's performed better in the past, but this year he didn't look very good. And we'll see how he turns that around here in the next few weeks, because I have a feeling that the Lions are going to kind of play this out through the preseason where their starters are going to sit till game 1. I was listening to a report earlier that the Bengals are going to, apparently Joe Burrow is going to play the whole, at least the first series in this game coming up this week. And then they plan on next week's game, he's going to play a whole quarter or some shit. They're going to play all their starters an entire quarter. Well, now the Lions got to start thinking, how do we get to the end of the season without the injury bug? And that's probably what they're thinking now, is that we're going to sit these guys and try to make it through a whole fucking season, because we've had injury issues over the last few seasons. And last year, it honestly fucking killed us.
Oh, well, yeah, you had, 22, 23 players injured by the end of the year. Yeah, if we didn't have – you cut that number in half, we probably had a better shot in that Washington game.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. When you're talking about Dan Campbell had made a point. Dan Campbell putting out in the universe. He had made a point where he had said, we had guys that just came in that week. They just hired guys pretty much off the street that were free agents to come in and play that week. It's because they had fucking nobody. So how do you get to that point? You sit your guys. These games are meaningless. The whole point of these games is to kind of get a look at your rookies, the people that they're thinking about, keeping on the team. You want to see how these guys performs. It doesn't matter if you win, lose, draw. It doesn't fucking matter in these. It's just about getting to see how these guys play. We need to figure out who our number 2 quarterback is. That's still a toss up in the air because neither one of them performed very well. I know Kyle Allen was performing better in practice and he was kind of leading out ahead of Hendon Hooker, but neither one of those guys. I mean, how many fucking did Kyle Allen throw? 2 interceptions? 3?
I think 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah, 2 in the first quarter. You know what I mean? He wasn't protecting the ball. Granted, let's be honest. If you put our actual offensive line out in front of him, he'd probably had a hell of a lot better of a chance.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
The only notable name on that line at that time was Dan Skipper, and he's a
6th or 7th man on the line.
Yeah, he's the 6th guy on the line usually.
Pretty sure Tate Ryledge took a lot of snaps at center because I know that's a very big option for them this year.
Yeah, and I think they're trying that, but I think Graham Glasgow is going to get that start.
I heard that's probably what's going to happen.
What did Dave say here? He said, I think Hooker will get traded before he ever gets a start. I mean, that would be a good option right now at this point in time. It kind of sucks because I put out a post there that Teddy Bridgewater had signed with Tampa Bay today.
That would definitely been better to bring him back.
Yeah.
Then trade Hooker and get some draft capital for next year if we need it.
The problem is after Hooker performs that way after one preseason game, it's like, what's his draft capital like?
That is very true too.
Like you needed a good showing to get a good draft pick out of him, and I just don't think it's there.
Do you really though? Because how Brad Holmes drafts, you can be in the 6th round. He'll still find a gem out there to help this team.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I don't know if that's going to translate to a high draft pick right now with the way that he's performing. Because we haven't had too many chances to actually get a good look at him.
No, you haven't.
And they didn't even trust him enough last year to carry us through the playoffs. That's why they re-signed Bridgewater last.
That is true too. Well. And that does make, pretty good sense. But, another note, Shadir Sanders is getting the start for week 1 for the Browns for preseason. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I just saw they just signed another quarterback too. They signed Hentley.
Did they? Yeah. I didn't see that.
So now they got like 5 fucking quarterbacks on their roster.
Makes sense. It's Cleveland.
Yeah.
And on another note, freaking the Rams running back got a contract extension, $33 million for 3 years. Kyron Williams,
pretty good for a running back. Yeah,
he's
a good back.
He definitely is a good back to have there. I think they'll. I think the Rams are going to be the sleeper. Everyone's looking for San Fran to come back. I think the Rams are going to be the sleeper this year because I know Stafford's getting old. I know he wants to win one more before he hangs it up.
Yeah,
and if he wins one more, I think he'll be gone. I really do.
Give us some insight in that mindset there, Jason.
I would agree with what Eric just said, looking for the one more, and then that's going to be that he's going to put a period at the end of it. I was just looking up this week's preseason games, what's on tap, because now I'm curious. There's some pretty decent games. Like Thursday, it's going to be Indianapolis and Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be on the NFL Network. Also will be the Bengals and the Eagles. That is also on Thursday.
That'll be a good game because I know Burrow's going to be playing in it. I don't know if the Eagles are going to play any of their actual starters.
And then at 10 o'clock that same night will be the Raiders at Seattle.
Yeah, you can leave that one at home.
Yeah.
Friday we're getting Cleveland and Carolina. That's going to be a barn burner.
Yep.
Yeah, but we get our first look at Sanders.
Yep, so. Sanders going to be something, And Carolina's starting to make moves. They might not be a sleeper team, but I think they're going to do a lot better than they did last year.
It's one of Jason's favorite football teams.
Really? I would have never guessed that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Detroit at Atlanta will be Friday night.
So here's my question: is the backup quarterback going to play?
For who?
No, actually, I saw that they weren't going to play Cousins or Penix.
Well, no, they're not. Yeah, they're not going to.
So they're going to start a third stringer.
Yeah, they're not going to start them. Cousins will probably get the start third week, just to break off the rust, get the jitters out before week 1, and then it'll be ready to roll.
So before you go into any more games here, do you think with that contract that Cousins got, do you think he's not going to be the starter? let's be honest. They threw a lot of money at him for 4 years.
They did throw a lot of money at him for 4 years, but he does have the experience, and
He does. And if you watched quarterback from this past season, Jason, did you watch it?
I haven't watched it. No.
I have.
Okay,
I
so-
have not finished it, but I have watched it. Yes.
Cousins was dealing with a lot of injuries last season. That's kind of why his gameplay dropped.
He tore his Achilles.
Yeah. And like even before that, he was all banged up. I think
Mhm.
he had an issue with it was either his elbow or his hand or some
Mhm.
shit. And that's why his, the rate of play, because Cousins is a damn good quarterback. Any way you look at it.
Well, he was very good in the beginning of the season, and
Yeah.
then that's when they put in the rookie to see what was happening, and it's going to be tough. The rookie did perform pretty well last year when they put him in.
He's got an injury bug in his past too. So
They do.
we'll see where it goes.
It's going to be interesting, but I think Cousins will get week 1. I think they're going to give him another chance. He threw all that money at him. You want to get something for that money.
Yeah.
And maybe there'll be a quarterback battle before we know it.
We're also going to see Washington playing the New England Patriots. The Giants will be in Buffalo to play the Bills. Houston at Minnesota. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. All right, Jacksonville have been pretty much at the bottom looking up. Any hope in some sort of rebound with this season based on anything that has come across your guys' radar?
Besides drafting Hunter, and that's, he's been playing a lot of receiver in training camp, so we'll see I think he's going to be mainly a receiver, but we'll see what happens with that. But
He plays both sides of the ball, doesn't he?
he wants to play both sides of the ball, but
Yeah, they ain't gonna let him do
everyone's told him, well, there's no way. There's no way you can do both. And he wants to do both. I'm like, yeah, that's okay in college. But
Well-
NFL is a whole different monster. And that's what Richard Sherman said. That's what everyone said. That ain't going to happen. They're going to keep him for one position, and that's it. And that's what he needs to really stick to.
They have a good program down there. I think their only hope to actually win a division, though, is if they actually move that team to Europe and create a division around them in Europe, and then they might have a chance.
That's true, but I don't know. I don't think you should send a team across season that's going to be playing all the time, because that's a long flight to go play a game.
What did Dave say? He said Jacksonville, if they don't make the roster for the team that will be picked up by AEW. There's a good chance in that.
I appreciate that. Rounding out week 2 of the preseason, Dallas will be playing the Rams. Tennessee will be in Tampa Bay, and then the Jets will be in Green Bay.
I'm really interested in the Texans ones, because Cam Ward seems like he's got his head right. I feel like he's going to be a damn good quarterback in the league. Like, I feel like he's definitely going to set that tone in Tennessee, and I'd like to see Tennessee be good. I really would.
Well, Tennessee needs something because they've been shit for how many years now?
They weren't bad when Derrick Henry was there, but you had a workhorse.
Yeah.
They were okay. They weren't great, but yeah, they've always been.
You had the one person on the team that could carry him once he was gone.
Yeah, like they've been like Jacksonville. They're the kind of like they're bottom of the barrel.
Even Derrick Henry wasn't enough to put Baltimore over the heap. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I go back to Lamar Jackson.
Because Lamar Jackson can't play in the big games. He can't do it. He can all season long. He can sling the rock and run, and he can make the right calls. But as soon as he gets to the postseason, that's his weakness. The big games just get to him.
All right.
That's the same with Josh Allen. It's the same with Josh Allen.
Well, yeah, and that brings up a good point. I'm starting to think about it. You think about it, like all these teams are starting to try to move towards the more mobile, can run the ball quarterback. But when's the last time one of them won a fucking Super Bowl?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but he's more of a pocket passer.
He is more of a pocket passer.
He can run up the center, and he can run a little bit, but
yeah.
he's a pocket passer.
Yeah, no, there's really not many mobile quarterbacks.
Same thing with
the closest
Mahomes.
one. The closest one was Cam Newton.
Yeah.
No,
Cam
not
Newton
taking a shot at you,
hill.
Jason, because that's your Panthers. But
he never won the big one. He just made it there.
Yeah, but he's been farther than anyone else.
And you look at it, like Mahomes can get pretty mobile, but he's still a pocket passer. But his ability is he can escape the pocket and he can
plays.
make crazy fucking passes to make
Yeah.
plays. He's not fast. You know what
I
mean?
think the closest one that can do it is Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I love
His,
Josh
dude,
Allen.
I honestly, I do really love Josh Allen, and his arm's amazing. I think he has the best shot just because that team over there, but he can sling it, he can run it, he just does everything. And I think he will bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo. I hope he does.
The only time he's going to do that is if Patrick Mahomes gets injured.
You're probably not wrong. You're probably not
Because
wrong.
Patrick Mahomes is like Josh Allen would have. If Josh Allen got drafted to an NFC team, he'd already been in a Super Bowl.
So let me ask you this: is Mahomes and Allen, or Mahomes and Lamar, the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning? What one would be that comparison?
I think it's more than Mahomes and Allen.
I would agree.
They
because
go deeper.
Allen,
Actually, I mean, if we look at it, it might be Mahomes and fucking Burrow, but Burrow only had one slight shot at it there. But there's only two players to beat Mahomes in the postseason.
you're right. You're right.
Before this past year, you know,
That's-
Jalen Hurts did it, but it was Burrow and it was Brady.
Yep.
And that was it. Those are the only people to beat him. And now, you know, you can add Jalen Hurts to that,
So
you know, in the Super Bowl.
So would you say it goes Mahomes and then Burrow for number one, number two?
No, because I think when it comes to postseason, there's a lot more matchups between them and the Bills. So I think it's
So I mean,
Mahomes.
number one, number two quarterback in the league. I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say Mahomes, Burrow.
Yeah,
Allen.
there's number one,
Mahomes,
two.
Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and then Lamar.
You know who Lamar Jackson reminds me of? Is Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers would play great in the regular season, and then he would get to Brady or Manning, and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know who I wish would have stayed? Was Andrew Luck. God,
Yeah,
I
he
loved
was
Andrew
good.
Luck then.
He was good.
He was so good.
That was Indy's last hope.
Oh, 100%. He was so good with the ball and everything. I was one quarterback I wish would have stayed in the league longer, but I get it. It's a very, very tough game on your body.
You had said that Andrew Luck was Indy's last hope, and I was going to say something very similar because that kid was something special.
I wouldn't say last hope, but he was definitely like the one that could have brought him out of the slumps after Peyton Manning left and bring him to that. But I think they just need a quarterback. They just need a quarterback there. Their defense is getting better. I think if you just get a quarterback in India, they'll be a team to actually watch.
Any other games on week 2 that spark any kind of interest? Jets and Packers, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Cowboys, and the Rams.
Cowboys are shit. Rams already said that, you know, Stafford, he's still dealing with injuries. So
What about that? What about Micah Parsons wanting a trade?
Oh, yeah, Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons wants a trade, and so does
Yeah, but that might be a
who
negotiation
else?
tactic.
Yeah, but I think he wants out. He wants to win.
Yeah, he wants to win, but like who's like honestly, let's break this down. Who's gonna have
McLaurin wants a trade too.
Yeah, McLaurin would be a realistic trade. Somebody could pick him up, and it's not going to take a crazy amount to get him. But to get Micah Parsons, it's gonna.
Because Jerry Jones gets in his own way.
Yeah, it's going to cost 3 first-round picks.
Yeah,
and it's going to need to be high picks, so it's got to be a shit team. Because, like, honestly, even if the Lions gave up 3 first-round picks, where are those draft picks going to be? They're essentially second-rounders.
Yeah,
they're going to be at the end of the fucking first round. And that's just not going to get it. And then on top of that, like, because everybody's calling for the Lions to try to get them, you're going to be giving up at least 3 first-round picks, which are essentially second-rounders. But on top of that, he needs to be re-signed after that, and you're not going to re-sign him and Hutch.
No,
there's no fucking way. So you're giving up 3 first-round picks for a 1-year rental.
Just you don't have you don't have 2 great pass rushers. You have one, and you have other complements to it. You don't have 2 great pass rushers. You don't. You just don't.
I'd be more apt to them like giving up 1 first-round pick and then like a 5% share in Ford. Like that would make more sense.
That ain't gonna happen. You already know that.
Or maybe a 2% share in Ford.
But we got 3 weeks of preseason football. Yeah,
I think
it doesn't. Preseason's preseason.
Jason,
we got 4 weeks until when it really matters.
Jason, where do you think realistically Micah Parsons could end up?
Cincy.
I don't think so. They're dealing. I mean, would you? I mean, honestly,
or New England. New England would probably go after him.
New England
Jason.
was actually the first one that came to mind. I could see him landing in New England.
Well, in reality, I didn't think Joey Bosa was going to land in Buffalo, and that happened.
Yeah. But would Micah Parsons want to go to New England? New England's got no hope of winning the Super Bowl anytime soon.
I don't think so, because players nowadays want to go where they can win.
Jason.
Sorry for cutting you off, Jason.
No, you're totally fine. That's the other thing about it. Do you want to win or do you want money?
Exactly.
It's going to come down to that. What is your motivation here? If you want money, then New England is going to open up a checkbook for you. If you want to win, there's I don't know, man. There's a couple of different options out there that, because when I saw the tweet, I'm like, oh, I didn't think it was anything other than this dude's venting. Like, he really truly wants to get out of there. I don't know if that's necessarily the right course of action to take it and make it so public like that, unless it is something of a negotiating tool to try to get a little bit more leverage. But I don't know. I just don't think that was the right way to handle things. But it certainly got people talking. And there's going to be a few teams out there that are going to seriously look at the books and look at their system, and would he fit there? And are they going to be? Is he the missing piece of a team's lunge towards a championship or that next level? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's more of a negotiating play. I think he's pulling a little card, out of the Myles Garrett playbook there to, push in. Look at Myles Garrett ended up being the highest paid defensive end in football after he played that whole little card. Realistically, I don't see a lot of teams biting at it. I don't see Jerry Jones even realistically thinking about it, even though
he already said that, Micah Parsons can request a trade all he wants. At the end of the day, it's what Jerry Jones wants to do.
Yeah, they can have him for another year and then let him go as a free agent. Then he can get paid by somebody. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't have to. But I mean, honestly, if you're looking at it that way, if he doesn't want to be there and you can get some fucking foolish team to give you 3 first-round picks for him, why not fucking take it? You know what I mean?
I don't think you're going to get.
And take that money and go get fucking Trey Hendrickson. Which would be who I'd love to have with the Lions, because Trey Henderson led the league in fucking sacks last year. He's a fucking beast, and he's sitting there, and the Bengals are playing the same game with him right now.
You're not wrong. But didn't they pay him?
No, they haven't paid him yet. He's still sitting there.
Wow.
It's the same thing with like Hutch right now. I understand why the Lions didn't pay Hutch, because he's coming off that injury.
Yep.
They don't know what he's going to look like. I guarantee Hutch is going to become the highest paid defensive end in football. Probably by game, I'd say game 5 this season. They're going to extend him. They want to get a look at him over a few games. Once they see this guy in action, they're going to go, we're going to throw this guy, what is $260 million over 4?
You better make it a long contract. You better keep him there for the rest of his career. Like, Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year contract.
Yeah, but that's a quarterback. You're talking about a defensive end. Their careers don't go as long.
Exactly. So what? Sign him to a 6-year then. So that's about where you're going to, either he's going to retire or he's going to still be producing, and you can still get something out of him if you want to get rid of him. But, if he brings helps bring a Super Bowl to Detroit, his hometown, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, it is, but you're still looking at production in the back end, and most defensive ends only get that 4-year contract. Quarterbacks roughly are, you can get a 10-year contract all day long. Defensive ends are 4. He should Photoshop pictures of Jerry Jones with a midget hookers on meth. He could use that as a tool to get traded.
I don't know about that one, but I like the idea of it. But that was just like I seen.
Is on par.
Yeah,
I was just like I seen a video of Sue talking, because I think Sue's got a podcast now. He said in 2014 his whole plan was to stay in Detroit. And he said they could have matched what Miami wanted to give him, and he felt like they should have won that Super Bowl in Detroit in 2014. I'm like, I could see that, because they had a very stacked team then. But if you truly want to stay in Detroit, you would have stayed in Detroit.
Yeah.
You went where the money was. Even if Detroit threw you a decent offer and you wanted to stay in Detroit, you would have stayed. You didn't want to stay, in my opinion.
No, I clearly felt like he wanted out, and it was no surprise that he went to Miami when he did go.
Well, yeah, because they threw $93 million at him. Anyone with the right mind would go, because like football ain't forever. You get your money and get out. It's not like the NBA. It's not like you're making 200 some odd million a year just to play basketball. You get your money and you get out. That's how it's going to be. So yeah, he went for the money.
The other thing I really feel like was taken into consideration is the weather aspect, because winters in Detroit and winters in Miami are on polar opposite sides of the spectrum.
And there's no state tax in Miami.
Yeah.
No
or Florida.
No state income tax. That's why a lot of guys go down there.
Yeah. Why do you think Tyreek Hill went down there? Even though I heard him say he wanted to stay in KC too.
His career would have been so much better staying in KC.
He shouldn't have played that game and just stayed in KC. He would have got a deal. He would have got the deal he maybe not wanted, but if he wanted to sit there and win rings, you'd have stayed.
100%.
Why do you think Jordan won 6 rings? Because he wanted to win.
Right. Anything else from the NFL that you guys want to cover before we make a transition over to baseball? We're going to try to call Jim on the phone because he's not answering my text and he's pissing me off.
Shit. No, I'm pretty much wrapped up for football.
I think that's it this week. I mean, we covered all Micah Parsons drama and, put it out there.
McLaren wants a trade, and I feel like he'll get traded because he's a wide receiver. But that's Jayden Daniels' number one target, though.
Yeah, that's not gonna take a lot to get him, and there's gonna be a team to pick him up, even if it's halfway through the season. I could see him end up on Kansas City possibly, but
they said that was one of the landing spots, and that's usually how it goes. They had D-Hop last year.
Yep. Yeah,
right.
I think we're good until next week, Jason. NFL, that's a wrap.
Cap.
All right, we're going to make the transition and focus on the last week in Major League Baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers still maintain their spot as the best team in all of baseball. Let's try to get Jim Burgett on here. He's going to be so pissed.
This motherfucker.
It's probably busy.
Probably is. But I don't think it's softball day.
No, softball's Thursdays.
Thursday, yeah.
Where does he usually play softball?
He's from out.
Yeah.
Yep. What a weenie. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
one day, Jim, where is your neck? I don't even know where Jim is, let alone his lack of a neck there, Dave.
For real, Dave.
Like, we haven't seen him in weeks, but I know he's still alive because he keeps on blowing up the bag of dicks chat with memes and everything else, and then him cooking fucking what did he say it was? The fucking hot dogs he was cooking, lips and asses. Lips and assholes.
Yeah. That's a reference to the movie The Great Outdoors. You know what hot dogs are made out of, don't you? Lips and assholes.
Yep.
All right. Milwaukee Brewers maintain a 3-game lead atop Major League Baseball. 3 teams are tied for second place, that being the Chicago Cubs, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Detroit Tigers.
Hell yeah.
And, then it's Los Angeles Dodgers at 3rd, the Philadelphia Phillies at 4th, and then Houston and the New York Mets round up the top 5 in all of baseball. Then we make the switch over to the divisions, and the Tigers still have a very comfortable 8-game lead over second place Cleveland. The Chicago White Sox are 23 games out of first place, dead last in the AL Central, and I have to compare that with Colorado, 34 and a half games.
Wow.
Behind the Dodgers in the NL West.
But they're not last.
That's true.
So there's still a chance.
So you're saying that there's still a chance.
There's still a chance, Jason.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it looks like the Tigers are slowly but surely starting to get their shit together, for the lack of a better term.
This is the right time to do it. And, it's August, you got September, then October rolls around. This is the time to start working back, getting hot, getting ready to go.
They've been hot. The last fucking week they've turned it back on and they've been on a fucking
That's a
another
week.
roll.
We don't need weeks.
But,
we need months again.
hey.
We need like the start of the season where they just came out ready to roll.
Well, they are playing. They are playing right now as we are recording this. Minnesota is up 3-0 in the bottom of the third. This is the middle game of a 3-game set with the Twins. They're going to have Thursday off and then start a weekend home series with the Angels, and then on the road to Chicago, play the White Sox, and then they're going to round out next week in Minnesota. So they're going to get real familiar with the Minnesota Twins in the next week or so.
And that's okay because they're in the division. They need to get a gap between them.
Absolutely.
Because for some reason the Twins are always a thorn in our neck towards the end of the year.
They are too. They will always be the one team I will consistently worry about in the AL Central. Take nothing away from the Indians or the Guardians.
No, you said it right the first time.
Yeah, it's the Indians, not the Guardians. The Guardians is fucking stupid.
Because I mean Cleveland, if in the last handful of years, if it hasn't been the Tigers, it's been Cleveland that's dominated the AL Central. Kansas City, man.
Every now and then they sneak in there.
They show glimpses.
They're like the Minnesota Vikings of the North. It's usually the Packers and the Chicago. The Lions are starting to dominate, but then the Minnesota squeaks in every now and then.
Yeah, same can be said with the Royals, but for whatever reason, man, whether this is a low key rivalry that just isn't harped on in the same vein as Yankees, Red Sox, or something along those lines, although that is the pinnacle of baseball rivalries, make no mistake.
That is.
But Detroit and Minnesota is a low-key rivalry. It doesn't get the kind of feud hype that it probably should. But, man, you just got done saying it. How many seasons has it come down to the wire and it depended on the series or just one game against the Minnesota Twins? So the more you can kick them around the diamond before you get to the postseason, the better off you're going to be for sure.
100%. And then usually when it comes down to those three, that series or one game, it's usually Detroit, Cleveland, and Minnesota. Those three, it's someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, and it's what decides who's the top dog every time.
That seems to always be the thing for Detroit sports altogether, anyways, because we had a similar situation in the NFL last year when it was like
it was Minnesota at the end,
Detroit and fucking Minnesota.
Yep. Then it's either Detroit or Wisconsin. It's the Packers.
But luckily enough, I think honestly, in our division right now for the Tigers, we got a pretty healthy lead, and we're just adding to that again as we're going on. Because they've gotten hot again. We need them to stay hot, at least stay above 500 for the second half of the season.
100%.
Ever since, Kerry Carpenter's gotten back. I think he was the missing piece because the whole time he was injured, that's kind of when we started slumping a little bit there. Now that he's back, I think we're coming along. I was going to ask Jason here this. With all the new pitchers that we picked up at the trade deadline there, what do you think about those guys? Because some of those guys have been up there and they've been looking pretty good.
So far, I am, from what I have seen or really listened to more than anything, I haven't been able to watch a lot of baseball, but I've been listening to a lot of baseball. It seems like it's okay right now. I mean, I'm not going to be sitting up here with orange and navy blue pom-poms and singing all their praises just yet. I'm not quite there yet. I don't know, man. I'm of the mindset of these guys haven't come across my radar enough for me to have a solid opinion one way or the other. So I'm waiting to see how they fit into the mold, and I got to put a little bit of faith in upper management that, look, you know what you have here with this team. and you want to find the crucial pieces that's going to fill that void to take us to that next step, whether it be the ALCS or, dare I say, a slot in the World Series. We're right there. We can be right there. We saw that last year. So
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
sorry for interrupting you, but yeah, also the manager of the Tigers said they're not looking to make big trades or the blockbuster trade. They're looking to be good consistently over years. So they're not looking for World Series right away. They're playing hot. The end game is always the World Series, but they're looking to develop over years, and that's what the manager said. 100%. He's talked on the radio and all that, and that's what I've heard. They're not going to make the blockbuster trades, but they want to be good over the years and then develop. And I'm like, that is the right way to do it, because if you have people coming up from AAA and AA that can play and help out, in the MLB, that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah, I can totally see that, and that does make sense.
It's not what the fans want. The fans want to win now, and you want a World Series now. You want to hoist that trophy. I'd love to see the Tigers hoist that trophy in my lifetime. I have not seen them do it yet.
Oh, he wasn't alive the last time they won. I was.
Nope, I was not.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Nope, I'm 93, baby. I was not alive then.
He might be the absolute youngest one, part of the PFC Entertainment.
Probably am.
I believe that's accurate.
It probably is. I've seen the Pistons hoist it. I've seen the Red Wings hoist it. I've not seen the Lions or Tigers yet.
Well, nobody's fucking seen the Lions hoist it.
Well, 50 if you're born in 457, they won the championship. They didn't win the Super Bowl though.
Yeah,
they did the Super Bowl a year before. Lions would have been the first one to win it. Isn't that crazy? 1 year before they would have won the first Super Bowl ever.
So yeah, I understand the wanting to build for the year's future, but Jace will probably agree with me on this. Your window for these things are so small.
Dave, shut up. I understand you have kids older than me. Still shut up.
Yeah. Like your window is so small for these championship runs that sometimes you just, you have the team for it and you got to go for it, because that window closes as fast as it opens. And we know that in all sports, you only have so much time. So you need to get it and get it now. Yeah, it was in 84. I'm wearing the shirt right now, Dave. World Series champions, 1984. The only reason they won that year is because I was born that year. So I was the good luck charm.
Okay, then. So you're alive, but you just don't remember. So I'm not counting that.
No, I don't.
You didn't see it. You didn't see it.
I've seen replays.
Yeah, replays.
YouTube's a fucking thing.
On TV.
Yeah, but see, okay, well, you didn't see it. That does not count.
Yep.
Does not count.
Just the other day, they claimed the Tigers were talking about. I'm looking at the transactions here. Left-handed pitcher PJ Poland was claimed off waivers by the Nationals. Wanted to see if there was any more injury reports.
I think we're Parker. What's his name? Parker. What is he out?
Parker Meadows. He's expected to return anytime now.
Okay. We need some of those bats to heat up, because I saw that Riley Green's kind of in a slump right now, and his batting average dropped by like 50 points or 50%.
That's why we need him.
Or 50 points, I should say. Yeah.
We need to start get hot towards end of September into October. Start getting those bats warm again when it gets cold out in the D.
We need them to keep that lead that they got going on in the Central there to at least make it to the playoffs, because you don't want to give any room to the Indians or to Minnesota.
No, because we just sat here and talked about what a huge thorn in the side that Minnesota is. Cleveland doesn't go anywhere anytime soon. The standings show some degree of separation, but let's be honest, we're just now coming into August, and there's still a lot of baseball left to play here, especially with a gap like that, and as inconsistent as the Tigers have been leading right up to the All-Star break and then coming out of the All-Star break. This is not the same team that we saw in April and May. So as they get their shit together, yeah, they're in a good spot. But if they're thinking about taking their foot off the gas, now's not the time to be toying around with that. I gotta believe that they know that. Who the fuck am I to be telling them anything on how to do anything? But come on, man. Sometimes you got to get back to basics and just play the goddamn game. Just play the game.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be viral. It doesn't. Just put more runs on the board than the team you're playing against. That's all you got to do. You know, God damn it. It just shit.
They've been doing a better job of it. Like we had that, like they scared the shit out of us there for a minute, with the whole losing 10 out of 11, 11 out of 12 games or something like that. And then they've bounced back now. So I'm pretty happy where they're sitting right now. They just play above 500 ball and you're going to be fucking good to go. You just have to hope that like I said, the Guardians or Minnesota don't get hot. If they get hot, then you need to play above 500 ball, because they could catch right on your heels. I mean, at a point there, the fucking Guardians were right on our heels, like 2.5 games out, you know, and now we've built that lead back up. They just have to stay consistent. Like, and that's what you need. You don't need to win them all. Like that's the whole point. Like I'm scared. Like, does it ever worry you or come across your where you start thinking and you go, did the Tigers get hot way too early this year?
Yeah. That's crossed my mind because we've seen that before. You know, not just with Tigers, but we've seen with other teams. They come out of the gate, guns a-blazing. All the media hype is around them. At the end of May, they have them projected to steamroll through the postseason and just sweep the World Series.
Yeah.
And then they get to the All-Star break and everything just falls apart. Just falls right apart. We've seen it time and time again. But then you see these other Cinderella teams that come out of nowhere. I think of the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks. Came out of fucking nowhere and wound up winning the World Series against the Yankees, which is unheard of because 9/11 had just happened. And the entire country was rallying around the Yankees because of the ties to New York and all that shit. But Arizona was not going to be denied. You know, they didn't really fuck about the sentimental aspect of it. They wanted to win the World Series because, like Tim was saying, they had a very small window of opportunity and they seized it. They captured lightning in a bottle. And that's what it resulted. One of the biggest upsets in World Series history.
Mm-hmm.
I will always use that season, that team, as an example because we really haven't seen anything like that on that level since then.
No.
I also saw Carlos Correa is back with the Houston Astros. Not that I was really surprised, but worth noting. He's gone back home, so he's got to be thrilled. I would have to imagine.
Yeah, I still been waiting for the Tigers to pick up Verlander there.
That's what I heard. I heard Verlander's on. They're open to trade him. So
yeah, but I don't know who's going to pick him up at this point in time.
Surprised, like you said, the Tigers has him because he had such a great career here. Let him finish out his career here, and he,
well,
need him go, start a game, get a good 5 innings in, then bring in your closers. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Would you be okay bringing him back if he was coming out of the bullpen?
100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, put him as a closer. Easy.
Yeah.
Not even just that middle reliever. If you can get 3 innings out, you pull somebody out in the 5th, have him pitch 6, 7, 8, your closer come in 9th, I'd be 100% okay with that. But him as a starter, his numbers don't add up this year as a starter.
No, certainly not. dismal at best.
Yeah, I think as a middle reliever, I think he could fit that thing. But how much money or what are you willing to get up to get Verlander as a middle reliever? Unless they were willing to just give him away, but they paid him way too much fucking money to be there for a year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's ridiculous amount of money that they paid him to be there, and I just don't see the Tigers going that way. I think we've pretty much seen what they're gonna do, and that's I don't even know when trade deadline is. I imagine it's coming up if it hasn't already happened.
It's already happened, I believe. That's why
I
all those
believe
trades
it
are moving.
has.
Yeah.
You have a computer right in front of you. You can look it up, Tim. Just saying.
I'm focused on the thing. I'll let Jason look that one up. He's
Fair enough.
faster than me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the trade deadline was July the 31st.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he
I
did.
thought it was, but I needed to make sure before I misspoke. But yeah,
Are you saying it's already past July the 31st?
Yeah.
yes, sir. It is.
Trade
Where the
deadline's gone.
Fuck is the time going?
The older you
Like,
get,
no,
man,
actually, I just
flies
looked at
by.
the thing. It's the 5th of August already. Like, we're only a few months away from fucking snow.
Yeah. That's why we're just all this, Canada fire stuff. I'm still going outside. It is what it is. It's gonna be here no matter what. I'm gonna enjoy being outside.
Telling
Well,
fucking
you talk about
Canada.
time flying by. Today is actually my daughter's birthday. She's 12 years old.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That fucking blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I have a 23-year-old and a 14-year-old. So
I'll have
makes me feel
a 2-year-old next month, so I'm a little far behind on the age gap with you guys, but yeah, it's
Well,
still flying by.
You're only like fucking
Every
22 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I was 22 years old. I'm 32. 10 years off, brother.
Same difference. All right. So are we wrapped up with baseball right
We
now?
are
Because I
wrapped
want to.
up with the MLB.
All right, I want to get into something else, which Eric probably won't fit into this conversation, unfortunately. But we had a big event with WWE this weekend that I want to touch base on. I know you'll probably
Oh.
cover it in the next thing, but I did happen to watch both nights, and super fucking. It was a good fucking show both nights. Go ahead, Jason. You got thoughts on your mind right now?
I mean, you're opening Pandora's box.
Yeah. I don't ever get to talk wrestling, so I like to fit it in after a big event.
Yeah, SummerSlam, the biggest SummerSlam of all time. A combined attendance of over 113,000 people filled MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Both nights, man, ended with something of a surprise. We saw the crowning, twice, a crowning of a new world heavyweight champion. First, it was CM Punk winning the title from Gunther, which kind of it surprised me. I thought that Gunther was going to win, but then we saw the cash in of Seth Rollins, who cashed in Money in the Bank, feigning a serious knee injury in the process. And then on Sunday night, we saw Cody Rhodes regain the WWE title from John Cena, but the story was the return of Brock Lesnar, and this melted the internet for a couple of hours on Sunday night. What did you think, Tim? Was the biggest holy shit moment of the weekend?
So I didn't get to actually watch Saturday night as it was happening. I avoided the internet so I could watch it Saturday during the day because one thing, I'm a big Jelly Roll fan. I wanted to see how he would do in his first match with WWE. And I was actually somewhat impressed. I thought he did fairly decent for somebody who's never been in the ring before. I mean, he kind of put himself in some weird positions and kind of looked a little lost at a few times. But overall, I thought he did fairly well. Those guys obviously carried him a lot through that match to get him through that. But I could see him fitting into that role. And my God, does he look fucking great? Like, I gotta give props to Jelly Roll. From SummerSlam that he was on in 2024 to this year, it looks like he lost about 4 people. Like, he looks fantastic. He did great there. The CM Punk thing, the only thing that I had heard before leading up to this when I was watching it Saturday is Matt had come over on Sunday, like he does every Sunday. And he had said, I wasn't happy last night. He's like, but I won't tell you because I know you're just watching. He was referring to the CM Punk with the cash-in thing. That was like, is it a holy shit moment? Nah, probably not, because you can kind of see that coming from a mile away, and it actually sets them up for a whole nother feud, probably to Mania. You know what I mean? But great match between him and Gunther. The whole show I thought was pretty good the first night. Great match between him and Gunther. The cash in, Seth played that off pretty well. I saw that he had actually been even out in his shoot life, was actually playing off that injury, so everybody thought he was legit injured.
Yeah.
So that kind of made sense. You could kind of catch some weird shit coming from a mile away, but good for Punk to get another title under his belt, even though he only had it for fucking 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, John Cena match, fucking awesome. John Cena looked almost like old school John Cena there. It flipped me out on how fast he was able to turn baby.
I know.
Just from a fucking promo on Friday night, just straight up, I'm a heel, and they go out there and cut a promo with Cody in the ring and just turn babyface, and the crowd's 100% behind them, right then and there. But they put on one hell of a match. It was a good fucking match. But yeah, the holy shit moment to me was the Brock Lesnar return, because as far as I knew, he's still facing federal charges and all this other shit. Like, I didn't think he'd be anywhere near anything to do with TKO or WWE for quite a long time while he's going through all this shit.
Well, apparently he's been legally cleared by TKO's legal team, or else this would have never been a thing.
Yeah.
So take that for what it's worth. From top to bottom, it felt like a pay-per-view quality event, much like what we're used to watching in terms of pay-per-view. Jelly Roll, say what you want, like the dude put the work in, and you could tell he put the work in, and I give him mad props. To start the match, or to start the entire weekend off with Roman Reigns in the opening match, I don't remember the last time that's happened. But Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, two of the biggest names in WWE right now, opening the entire weekend, big win too, in a tag team match over Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, the Bronze, as it were. And then capping it off on Sunday with Cena and Rhodes, which was a way better match than what they had at WrestleMania 41 in April. It was a good weekend, really successful weekend for WWE. And on the heels of this, Tim, it looks like the other two big four pay-per-views are going to follow suit starting next year and going the 2-night route. So we're getting 2 nights of Royal Rumble, 2 nights of WrestleMania, 2 nights of SummerSlam, and then 2 nights of the Survivor Series War Games.
So do you think that's based on ticket sales? Do you think TKO is looking at that and going, if we can pack this place with 60-something thousand people every night, we can make a shit ton of money?
It's all about money.
Now we got to get Eric watching some wrestling now too. So.
I'll give it a shot. I can't promise anything. I'll give it a shot, but I had no idea of any of this. All I'm going to say is, how much is Jelly Roll going to dip his fingers into? Is he going to be an NFL quarterback next? Is he going to play in the MLB? Who knows what Jelly Roll's going to do?
He's a fucking badass.
That dude just keeps doing what he's going to do, and hey, kudos to him, because he's definitely, from where he came from to where he's at now, hats off to you, man. I appreciate it. Good. What? You can probably end up on this podcast one day. You never know.
Maybe. We could put that out in the universe too. But Jason, I have one more question for you. Jey Uso.
Yeah.
What happened there? Why do you think they pulled that run out from under his feet? Like, I kind of figured that they took the belt off him to put on Gunther to have that match with Goldberg, because they wanted Goldberg to have that title match and they needed a big heel.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like Jay's going to be put back in the title picture right now, because I watched Raw last night too, and it looks like it's just going to stick with Seth and Punk. Do you think they just don't believe in him, or he just wasn't carrying it the way that he wanted them to? You know what I mean? It's like, what happened?
I wish the hell I knew. It's the great question mark this year. Like, what are we doing? Why? Jey Uso is one of the most over guys in WWE right now. Another guy that I can put in that category is LA Knight. Like, why he's not in more main events, I don't know. He can talk, he can wrestle, he's got the charisma, everything that you want in a champion, a world champion, the face of the company. I don't know if it's because
It's the
they're too
name,
busy.
man. I have to say that's the name. If they gave him a better name, he'd probably already be there.
I asked that question a couple of years ago. Is that name what's holding him back?
Yeah.
And everybody thought I had two heads or something like that. They're like, what? What's wrong with his name?
It's fucking dumb.
I don't see that name headlining WrestleMania as
No.
much as I want him to. But the name is not there. Jey Uso, man, that's as organic of a success story as you can get in this day and age. And I was so happy that he won Royal Rumble and then won the title at WrestleMania. And I really expected that he was going to carry the belt for the rest of the year because he's moving merch, he's selling tickets. They request him for Make-A-Wish and all this other shit. Like, why are you not putting the rocket on him? And I don't know if is there such a thing as too much of the Samoan dynasty influence because we just went a 4-year run with Roman Reigns. Do we need, is that taken into consideration? I don't think it should. The dude is popular. The dude is selling merch. The dude is generating revenue. You need to capitalize on that. I had heard, Tim, that they're talking about reuniting him with his twin brother Jimmy and just putting him back as the Usos a tag team. And I'm like, he's developed way too far for that.
Yeah,
That's
he's
like putting Shawn Michaels back as part of the Rockers after winning the World Wrestling Federation title. It makes no sense.
yeah, there's something happened there, and I don't get it either. I mean, I understood it for the whole Goldberg match at Saturday night's main event. I didn't. I figured that he'd end up having his match against Gunther after that war against Goldberg. You know what I mean? And end up getting the belt back before this point, but it just didn't happen that way. So I don't know. I don't know if they just feel that belt being on a heel because the other title's on a baby face, that it makes more sense. So it's easier to keep it on a heel. I don't know. So they have one heel champion and one babyface champion. Especially it makes sense if they ever try to go, Night of Champions with the two going against each other. I mean, they could be building for something like that because doesn't that pay-per-view come up at some point here later this year?
Crown Jewel, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be something like that. And I don't think it's going to be the last run that we see of Jey Uso as champion. He is way too over. But then again, you don't need the belt to be that over. You know what I mean? Look at LA Knight, super over, and they're never going to put the title on him because he's got a dumbass name. What was his name beforehand when he was in TNA? It always slips in my mind. I know it too. Like if you say it, I'll know it. It was way better than the fucking LA Knight. LA Knight's cheesy as fuck.
It was Booger T.
It was not Booger T. Jason's going to look it up right now because it was way better than what the fucking LA Knight. I've hated that since the beginning. I like him as a worker. I like him on a mic. He's the all-around package. He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He can work his ass off. And they stick him with a dumb fucking name.
Eli Drake.
Way better. I could see that. I could see Drake headlining fucking WrestleMania instead of LA fucking Knight.
Do you want to know what his real name is?
What is it?
Sean Ricker.
Yeah, I understand why we don't go with that.
Yeah. That dude should be.
But they could have played that. They could have called him Sean Knight. You know what I mean?
You're never gonna have the iconic names like they did in the 90s and 80s. You're not gonna.
Well, no, we don't need that because some of them fucking names were outrageous. You know what I mean? Like
what?
The Minotaur. I don't know.
That's better than that. That is better than that.
Weird shit. You know what I mean?
Kane, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're never gonna have names.
Well,
like
that was the 90s for Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's when you're talking about the 80s. Like it was all gimmick shit. You know what I mean? Isaac Yankem. You know what I mean? Even the early 90s. Yeah, like it was all gimmick based shit and it just went outrageous. But anyways, I wanted to cover that. I see Jason lighting up a little bit there when we get to talk wrestling here on this podcast. We don't do it very often, but I wanted to fill it in because I do like it when they have the big events, and it was a hell of an event. Good draw for WWE there. Brock Lesnar blew my fucking mind because I didn't think it was a possibility of him coming back. And the internet still fucking blowing up about it. Like, that's all. So much negative shit. People trying to get him canceled. Cancel culture doesn't work anymore, bitches. So fucking knock it off. Like, just let people make their money and live their lives. You don't know the details of the case. And if you did, you don't know if he even really had any part. Because from what I read, he didn't really do anything.
What cases? What is he getting charged for?
I don't know, some shit that Vince was wrapped up in because Vince sent this chick's number to him and she sent him some pictures or something and he just called her a bitch and then never responded. But somehow he's wrapped up in the case because of that. Just get off your fucking rocker. It doesn't even sound like he did anything. But maybe he did. I don't know. But it's interesting and it's bringing it's bringing publicity to WWE either way. You know what I mean?
True.
Obviously, they feel he's clear enough to get out there. Like Jason said, TKO feels like he's clear enough to get out there. They're going to do it. I heard that John Cena requested personally to be able to work Brock one more time because they had so many matches over their career. I mean, their careers were like side. I mean, it was the Hogan and Andre. You know what I mean? It was intertwined between the two. So in his last run, he wanted to work Brock. But either way, that was my holy shit moment. It was a fucking hell of a show. I can't wait for the next big event, which will be Survivor Series anyways.
As far as the big four goes, but premium live event wise, on the 31st of this month, they're going to be in Paris, France for Clash in Paris.
Oh yeah, that'll probably be Cena versus Brock there.
It's rumored it's going to be Cena versus Lesnar at that pay-per-view.
All right, now that we're off,
I will definitely not be paying attention. Just saying, that is you too. I support it 100%, but it's just like,
well, we only talk about that shit about 4 times.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When NHL comes around, you're gonna have to listen to me babble about NHL because I love some hockey. Love some hockey. Ready for those Wings to get back to where they should be.
You know what I'm ready for?
A little bit of
I said we need to make this Tim's 1 minute of golf.
2 minute. Stop trying to take fucking time away from me, motherfucker. Tim's 2 minute golf report brought to you by the Sports Row Podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Let's hear it, Tim.
I'm going to have to make
Let's hear
a little
it,
jingle. Last week we had the Wyndham Championship where, believe it or not, for the first time ever, big dick swinging Cam Young won his first PGA Tour event. He placed first over. Yeah. That hammer in his pants finally won a fucking PGA Tour event after so many runner-ups for him. We're just going to start calling him the Hammer. Cam the Hammer Young.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I'll give you that.
I need to get him on this podcast so I can give him that nickname officially.
Let's get bigger than that. We'll get there, brother.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We got to put this shit out in the universe. Anyways, second place was Meisner. That just sounds like not a nice person. Meisner. It's like the Heat Meis.
Yeah, the Heat Meisner.
Yeah.
That's what that.
Yeah, the Heat Meisner, but this is Meisner. But third place Noren. Tied with Hubbard. I'm trying to just go through that. Fitzpatrick placed 8th. Ben Griffin 11th. Joel Damon 15th. He was up there, I think, in second place after day 3. I was really rooting on Joel Damon.
Where the hell's McElroy at?
He didn't play in this tournament.
He's too good for it.
This was a smaller tournament. Our guy Lanto Griffin there placed 23rd. Jordan Spieth 31st. They go down the line. Ricky Fowler 44th. Tony Finau 44th. Both those guys, they're kind of having a little off years. I'm kind of feeling it for Ricky this year and for Finau. Neither one of them have really been at the top of those leaderboards, and I know both of those guys have had lots of wins in their past, and I think they can get back to that, that level. They're both struggling a little bit this year, and Finau is, he's known to be one of the nicest guys on tour. I want to see him kind of get back into the winning ways there. Cam Young 60th. We're kind of down there. Now we're moving into this week. We have the FedEx St. Jude Championship. This is going to be a big event. This one's a $20 million purse taking place at TPC Southwind. So you're going to have all the big names in this event this week. We're just looking down the line. We got Minwoo Lee, Wyndham Clark, Jordan Spieth, Bhatia, Fitzpatrick.
Not seeing McElroy.
Oh, he's gonna be on there. Matsuyama, Big Dick Swim, Cam the Hammer Young, right there. He's playing in this one. Keegan Bradley, Ben Griffin, Ricky Fowler. You're gonna see those really big names towards the bottoms because they'll be the last ones to tee off.
Oh, okay.
Schauffele, Knapp, Hovland, Gottaroop, Patrick Cantley, Colin Morikawa, McIntyre, JJ Spawn, Tommy Fleetwood, Straka, Scheffler. I did not see Rory. Where the fuck is Rory?
It's probably top of the line because he's ready to win again.
I got to find Rory on this list because it's going to trip me out if Rory does not play in this because this is the FedEx Championship. Rory's won like 3 times on tour this year. He's got enough points.
He's got enough money. He doesn't need to play again.
Unless is he injured? I haven't heard anything about Rory not playing in this tournament.
So you got to find out and then share it to the page, man.
I'm going to have to do some deep digging because, yeah, I am not seeing Rory McIlroy listed on this. And that is fucking weird. So, yeah, I'll be doing deep diving this week on this thing. This will be a big event. I'll be keeping everybody on the Sports Reel page updated day by day on, the daily results of this thing because it's another one I'm really looking forward to see. And I'm kind of rooting on old Scotty Scheffler here. So
I thought you were rooting on Big Dick Cam or whatever his name is.
No, he's only ever won once.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he'll win 2 in a row. You never know.
We like to talk about the hammer in his pants. Okay. But anyways, that is Tim's 2-minute golf talk on the Sports Reel podcast, brought to you by the PFC Entertainment Network. And honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about that because that was actually somewhat close to 2 minutes this week because we had a small tournament last week. Bastion Booger. Dave just brought up another.
So we need to make it
another good name from the 90s there.
Yeah, that was definitely not close to 2 fucking minutes.
Fuck. I went over. Dude. He had to time it this week. Do I have to rebrand the name? Do I have to go Tim's 5-minute golf talk?
It sounds better with 2, but you just need to get quicker.
I like the 2-minute gimmick because, there's a lot of people who listen to the show that goes, fuck golf. So if they think I'm only going to talk about it for 2 minutes, maybe they hang around and they get sucked into it like I do. And I start talking about Cam Young's one wood in his pants. You know what I mean?
I'm getting suspicions about you, Tim. So you keep talking about this dude's schlong. I'm just, that's all I'm saying, man. You need to stop. You're getting close to it, man.
I'm just saying it's impressive.
So is one of the guys you work with, but we don't talk about that.
No, because I've seen that thing far too many times.
I have too. That's the bad part.
What's going to be really impressive is in 10 days, we're going to launch the new fall lineup on the PFC online store. You can go over to pfcstore.printify.me right now and check out some of the latest t-shirts, hats, hoodies, other great merchandise adorning the logos and designs from all of our great shows under our umbrella. And like I said, August the 15th, the fall, I guess it's more or less a fall / back to school lineup is about ready to drop. This is where the football jerseys are going to come into play that I've had a tremendous amount of time making and designing and uploading. So I hope they're going to resonate with our fine fans here that tune in each and every week. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, show topic ideas, anything of the sort, you can hit us up over on the Sports Reel Podcast Facebook page, or you can go to klaustheheart@gmail.com to send us an email. With that, go out this week, be awesome to yourselves and to each other, and we'll see you next week right here on the Sports Reel Podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Go Tigers and go Lions this week. We're back to saying go Lions. Fuck yeah. Football's back, baby. Football's back.
100%. Not until February,